Okay, so yesterday we were looking at translating angles, and then we copied angles. Today we're going to be doing what's called bisecting an angle. So we are on problem 3 in lesson 1. That's on page 686. And let's read the definition. Just as line segments can be bisected, angles can be bisected too. If a ray is drawn through the vertex of an angle and divides the angle into two angles of equal measure or two congruent angles, the ray is called an angle bisector. So let's highlight that. The construction used to create an angle bisector is called bisecting an angle. So there are going to be two ways that we can do this. We can bisect an angle similar to how we found the midpoint of a segment using that hamburger patty paper. You would draw your angle, you would fold the paper so that your two rays match up, and then the crease represents the angle bisector. We're not going to do that today. We're just going to bisect the angle using a compass and a straight edge. So let's turn the page. So to bisect an angle using a compass and a straight edge, you're going to take your compass and place it at point C, and then you're going to construct an arc that intersects both sides of the angle. So we're going to draw an arc that intersects both sides, and we're going to label the points of intersection A and B. Then we're going to place our compass at point A, and we're going to construct a second arc. You can even leave your compass the same measure. It doesn't matter. And then you're going to construct the same arc, so make sure your compass does not move this time, from B. And that point of intersection, we're going to call it D. When you draw a line through it, it constructs a bisector straight through your angle. So let's do this with number 2. So we're going to construct a bisector of angle A. So let's open our compass. It doesn't really matter how wide. And we're going to draw an arc that goes through both legs of the angle. And let's label those points. Let's label them B and C, since we have an angle A. Now, I'm not going to move my compass at all. I'm just going to keep it the same size. So let's put our compass on point B and construct another arc. And this time it's very important to not move your compass at all. So put it on point C and construct another arc. And this point of intersection, let's call it D, is going to be where we make our bisector. So the ray going through A and D bisects my angle A. These two angles are both the same length or measure. So let's keep that up, and let's now look at number 3. Number 3 wants us to construct an angle that is 1/4 the measure of angle H. So remember back to last week when we were talking about midpoints and Jack's key, and he lost his key, but he knew it was 1/4 away from the door. We're going to do something very similar to that. 1/4 is half of a half. So we're going to construct a bisector twice to make 1/4. So let's try this. At angle H, I'm going to make my compass a little bit bigger than it was. I'm going to construct an arc that goes through both legs of angle H. And let's label those points I and J. Now before we can construct half of the half, we need to construct the half. So at point J, I'm probably going to need to make my compass a little bit bigger. So at point J, I'm going to make an arc. Make sure you make your compass wide enough. It needs to be bigger than the arc that you already made, somewhere right here. And then you're going to use the same compass setting. Oh, I didn't make it long enough. The same compass setting at I, and construct a second arc. Let's call that point K. So HK is my angle bisector. So HK cuts angle H exactly in half. However, I want to cut it into fours. So let's do this again, but this time we're going to construct a bisector of angle KHJ. So we're going to cut this half into half. Now I can do the first step again of making the arc, the first arc, but we already have one. So let's just label that point of intersection L. And then we're going to do the steps B and C to construct the middle, because we already have the first arc made. So at point J, I'm going to make an arc right here. And using the same setting, I'm going to put my compass on point L and make a second arc. Let's call that one N so that we don't get it confused with M for the midpoint. And this time I'm going to use my pen. And now I have a ray HN, which goes through exactly 1/4 of angle H, the original angle we started with. So angle KHJ was half of the entire angle H, and then NHJ is half of that half. So this angle is going to be 1/4 of my original angle H. So you guys are going to be doing this on your skills practice. So start working on that now, and we will go over the answers for all of these on Thursday.